So, Melissa, you hit the mother load. Little House on the Prairie was the biggest show in America. It was prime time. I watched it religiously, and the original Ingalls children had aged out. It was no longer interesting to look at Mary and Laura and Carrie. They needed fresh blood. And that is where you landed the role of a lifetime. And you landed it, in addition to your many other skills, for one particular reason. You could do something that virtually no other 7, 8, you were 8 when you got the role, your old child could do on cue. I'm not going to have you say that. I'm just going to show them the actual scene that aired when you got the part on the night that the first episode, and people can figure out what it was you did. Here it is. It's her parents going down the hill in a wagon dying.
Oh, that looks painful.
There goes Pa Ingalls to help check on the people, and Melissa, like a pro. What'd you do?
I remember that like it was yesterday. I mean, it was incredible because they rolled this wagon off the side of the hill and shot it, and we watched it. Of course, the horses weren't attached to it. And then they just did this tight shot of us over and over again, and we had to cry. And it was the audition. Like, you would go in and they're like, okay, cry. And you just bring it out, like no warm up or anything. I don't know what it says about me that I could do that.
But you could do it.
I would picture like all of my pets dying. I mean, I wasn't a method actress at the time. So it was like, rather than being in the character, what I was picturing was the wagon was going down like with my horse and my cat and my goldfish, and they were all just being blown to smithereens. But I remember watching that at home and kind of hiding behind the couch. And my sister was like, "You look like a frog doing that. Do you see her face? You should be so embarrassed." And I was
not
mortified.
Look like a frog. But I do wonder, like, you know, I have this thing when I'm going to cry, like for real in my life. I can't imitate it on camera, but like I get this huge frown, like these two, the ends of my mouth pull down like to the bottom of my jaw.
I've seen that.
Oh, it's crazy. You can't stop it. And it's like my husband, Doug, is always like, oh boy. And so now my Thatcher has it too. He's got it. I don't know if it's hereditary, but with you have like, I can't quite do it, but like there's the lower jaw goes down and like the lower lip is like.
I try not to do that anymore.
It pulls down. Yeah. It's so sweet though. I saw it
on TV so many times, and my sister was relentless.
She was
when she saw me cry like that. So I would always try to stop that. But no, it is funny because, you know, then my kids came along, and my oldest one, you know, was little, and he was like supposed to do whatever. He's brush his teeth, eat a piece of fruit, whatever it was. And he throws himself on the ground crying. And he's got the face and the redness and the whole thing. And I walk over to him and I was like, yeah, that's not very convincing. I mean, what you're doing here is not great. There's no water coming out. Like, one of the big things is the liquid has to act, and they don't cut away and give you some Visine. Like, you have to make it happen. Like, I got paid to do this as a child, and this is not a good performance. And he was like, what? You got paid to do this? I'm like, well, not this. I mean, what you're doing, no one would pay you for. But what I did, and so he was fascinated. Meanwhile,
as you know, this is my favorite story. And you looked at him and you were like, I can't even believe we're related.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ashamed of this performance that my daughter.
Don't come back to me with this again.
Right. She busts out with these huge tears, and Ray says, "Oh my gosh, look at that, real tears." She just boom, like she can do it out of
off
nowhere.
The old block.
Oh,
yes, Melissa's heart is like beaming. She's beaming. Her heart's pumping.
I was like, "That's good. Yeah, that's good." Yeah.
This actually could make you some money. That's what Thompson was interested in. He's like, "Wait, go on. What are you saying? If I can actually produce tears, there could be money in it for me." So you do 2 years on Little House on the Prairie, and it's Michael Landon. You know, we had, we had Caroline Grassley on the show. She was amazing when she wrote her memoir. When I was at NBC, I did Melissa Gilbert, Alison Arngrim, who's, that's Laura Ingalls and Nellie. I'm obsessed. This is one of the things that first drew us together when you got to Fox News. And people were like, oh my God, it's Melissa Francis. I'm like, and somebody's like, she was on. I'm like, I know what she was. Please stop it with your pedestrian Prairie knowledge. I am an aficionado. I know exactly what she was on. I know when she was on. She was with Jason Bateman. She stole all the scenes. She was second round of Ingalls Children. And then Maureen, our friend and makeup artist, was like, don't ask her about it because I hear she doesn't like to talk about it. I'm like, shit. All right. So I didn't ask for the longest time. My God, it took forever before we finally had the conversation. It turns out you were fine talking about it. But it was like a massive chapter in your life and you had instant fame. And so that's one of my questions is how was that when you went from normal 8-year-old who sometimes did commercials to everyone knows who you are?
You know, it was a totally different time. And I remember I heard your interview with Justine Bateman, who is a tremendous actress, and of course, Jason Bateman's older sister. And she was talking about when she was on Family Ties and that it's impossible to understand now what that was like because there were 13 channels, not even really.
It's like 40
went
million
up to 13,
people.
but there were probably like 8 channels because there were like the blank spots. And so if you were on prime time at 8 o'clock on one of the big weeknights, it was so many more viewers than anything out today gets just because of the limited things that you could watch. And people weren't reading very many books. They were happy to turn on the television. So overnight, I walked into the Northridge Mall and would get mobbed, and I was small. So to just not even be able to move. And then my mom loved it. So we went to the mall a lot. And
right.
It was...
She put you in your Prairie outfit.
It was very overwhelming. I remember that I went to cheerleading camp in the summer, like not too long after that. And there were kids came outside the door and they were sliding things under the door and I wouldn't come out, because it was just, I was at this thing alone where we were supposed to be doing, it's like a sleepaway camp. And so it was very overwhelming. And probably that's where the, I don't like to talk about it comes from. That's not really true. Although it is true that the whole reason why I wrote a memoir was so that I could direct people to the book instead of talking about it. But you don't mean like
right now, do you? Or is it
is it what?
Do you mean like right now? Should I be?
Yeah, no. It's well, it's different because it's you. But no, but I would say what was harder about it was so that was very difficult, and then it wanes. So I still did, I had 2 more series after that. But how could anything be as successful as Little House? I did 3 feature films. I did more than 100 commercials. I won all kinds of awards. I kept acting pretty steadily into my teenage years. And then when I was about 15, you hit the age, maybe 14, where everything you do feels awkward. Like it doesn't matter what it is. You just are suddenly super self-conscious. And I didn't really want to do it as much anymore. And that's the kiss of death, because as I said before, I don't believe any child actor who says they hated it, because you really have to bring it every time to get any role. And I just wasn't bringing it anymore because I was kind of too self-conscious, not sure I really wanted to do it. And then once it starts to slip away, then I want to get it back, but it's too late. So I sort of went through that midlife crisis, career crisis that some people go through at 50 or whatever at like 17.
Wow.
And that was at least as hard as the sudden influx of attention that then the didn't you used to be.
There is so much to love about fall, from the cooler temperatures to the changing leaves, the pumpkin spiced everything. Just ask Michael Knowles. What better way to soak up the best of the season than with a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas? A Michael Phelps swim spa combines the benefits of a pool with the therapy of a hot tub. It comes in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small backyard. Master Spas worked with Michael Phelps, the one and only, to develop an at-home training and fitness solution that you can use year-round in any season. Yes, even in the winter. Exercising in the water is a great way to include physical activity in your daily life, whether you're a beginner or a fitness enthusiast. Relax after an afternoon of raking leaves and yard work. I mean, you can do that there whatever day you want. The hydrotherapy jets are going to massage away any aches or pains. Now, as your fall calendar fills up, a Michael Phelps swim spa is the perfect place to spend time together as a family. The swim spa draws people outdoors, and the kids will love splashing and playing in the swim area. Michael Phelps swim spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas. That's the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. A Michael Phelps swim spa is energy efficient too. You can use it all year long. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code MK to save $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. That's masterspas.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.